Okay, so I've already got a tank in this morning. This is the second tree of this size. That was the first one. It was kind of a piece of junk. And then I got this one here. And it's taller, but it's not the best condition. It's like half of it broke off years ago, but I might get some good wood out of it yet. And I want to put this one, there we go, in the shade there. I want to put this one kind of uphill a bit, right below that stump right there. Put it down there, I might break, and won't be a good spot to buck. So I think it'll save out better if I put it straight up, right up in here. Yeah. That was quick. Had a bit of a Dutchman there. My cuts didn't quite line up. Yeah, I saw it's cutting just awesome right now. So 592. Hopped up, so we call Walkerize. It's a Walker saw shop in Nanaimo. They call it Walkerize. They hop it up, get more power out of it. And then I got a steel light chain. Or I mean a steel light bar with a steel chain. And I have an 8-tooth sprocket, so this thing can cut. Man, she cuts fast. And I'm in cedar, and cedar, you know, it's quite soft wood, so you know, you can get it cutting really fast. But because I got lots of hemlock mixed in here, hemlock's a lot tougher wood. If you get your saw cutting so it's like at max aggressiveness for cedar, because cedar's quite soft, then when you go to cut into a hemlock, it'll just dog out, it'll just bind, and yeah, it'll be a pain. So there's a fine line of how sharp you want to get it if you're in mixed species of wood. Yeah, anyway, let's start the back cut of this thing. Yeah, laid out exactly where I wanted it to go. Right there. And I can nicely have a nice level, mostly level log to buck. Makes it a lot easier for me. Yeah, and then up next, got a bunch of smaller stuff, some smaller scrubby hemlock, some smaller cedar, some understory saplings and stuff. So what I'll probably do, actually I'm gonna save, oh no, I'm gonna get this small garbage down, smaller wood down, and then figure out where that one's going. But I'm gonna work up a hole up this draw here. Because right there's a bench, the hill wraps around, a little bench up there, and then there's a bit of a dip right here. And then, I don't know if you can see that orange ribbon there, there's an island of leaf trees over there. And then the sideline is just up on that rock face over there. So there's a pocket of wood that goes up in this draw. So we're gonna work up this draw, because it's technically the low point, but also awesome shade. The sun's over there, and I'll have these trees here as some tree shade for me as I work a hole up into there. You don't want to push it too much and end up crossing wood up later, that kind of stuff, but I think it's gonna be easy because it's not even that steep, it's almost flat, It's just a gentle slope, so I can make it work quite easily. And I don't know if you see it. I mean, the wood here isn't very tall. We're like near the top of a mountain right now. Almost at the top of the mountain, so it's kind of a flat top mountain here. And the wood isn't very tall, but some of it's pretty big. Like that one there, the cantilever top there, little scoom arms. That's a big one, just not very tall. I'll get to that one later today. Unless I work up this one side. Looks like it's leaning straight up and down, so I'll have to see what its condition is, but it should be an easy one. Yeah, okay, back to work. I'll see you guys, I don't know, in the next big one anyway. I got a bit of work before I get to another big one, but I'll see you guys here in a little bit. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna follow it out this way. It's got that huge school marm on the right. I think all that weight's gonna help pull it over. I'll still have to make a pretty good size undercut because it's a pretty big tree. And I want to put it right in here if I can. Right in there. And I got a little bit of shade from that one branch up there. A little bit of shade. And the sun's gonna work its way around like this. So I'm gonna try and dig a hole into that shady area. Oh, that nice shady area. Yeah, it's not one little breeze to cool me down, so try and get some shade. And I cut out the flare here, and now I'm ready to start the undercut. That was easy. Although it was half hollow, so I was cutting so fast. Show ya. See? Yeah. And that means there's not much holding wood, right? It's only like 2 feet of holding wood right there. So we'll see if it goes where I'm aiming it now. Yeah, I left too much holding wood. I could have cut more up. If the wedging got tight, I would have cut more, but that's the power of the PowerWedge. I don't have a real good one. Don't have a real good one. They're all dirty now. This is the PowerWedge. It's got a thinner taper, so it makes wedging a lot easier. You can lift heavier wood. You might have to double up wedges more often to get it to lift higher, but it can lift heavier wood. Makes it a lot easier. Yeah. Hey there. PowerWedge. It's kind of dirty, but woodboss.ca. See? It's the only place you can get them because I designed it myself. The only place you can get them. Okay, let's check out the stump. See, look how much holding wood I had there. I had tons of holding wood. But I don't want to cut too much because there's nothing over there and there's a big hollow in the middle here. So I wanted to make sure it was going where I was aiming it. And yeah, they'll still get some good wood out of that. Surprised it held up as much as it did though. Oh, that one side there split apart, but that's all right. I'll have to put one cut in that. That's all I need to do, one cut somewhere in the middle. And on to the next one. Yeah, that big one there. Oh, another real big one, but it's leaning that way, I can tell, which is great. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open up a hole. I'll go up there, figure out where exactly I'm gonna aim it, and then make a hole for it. Because you want to get the big ones down first, because if you get a whole bunch of little stuff down and you get this big one landing on it, it's gonna break them. You're gonna just lose a lot of money in wood smashing it with some big ones. So you want to get the big ones down first. But you can throw all the little garbage trees out, the ones that are too small and just too poor quality, they're gonna be left, Throw them down first because it can act like a cushion for that big one too, right? So, but yeah, I can be working in the shade. Oh, it's gonna be nice. Yeah, see, okay, yeah, I guess I'll just turn the cam back on for that big one. So I got a bit of work to do yet before that happens, but yeah, unless something changes, but it's a plan right now. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, so while I got this rare shade here, I'm gonna file up on the stump. And I'm right in this draw, like I was saying. And we haven't had rain in well, we did have some rain 4 days ago, but in the last 2 months, we've had hardly any rain. It's been dry, big dry spell for quite a long time now. And you see it's pretty flat here, It's like the hill's there, flattens out to a bench, and then it rises up again to another bench, and then the hill drops down. But there's a little puddle of water here. It's actually layers, like steps of water, because it's not perfectly flat, but it's just about. So you get puddles of water, and then it drops down probably 6 inches to ground level, and there's another big puddle of water. So this is probably a perfect spot for animals to get water, because there's no lake in miles around here. I'm trying to think. Just mountains. There's no lakes at all. Maybe a couple of little ponds at the top of some of these mountains, but yeah. And then, but you got the river at the valley bottom. That's way down there, though. So this is the only water sources until you get to the bottom of the mountain, basically. Yeah, but I'm not drinking out of this because I'll get beaver fever. That's where if you drink out of standing water, the water is not running. And beaver fever is a parasite, so I've had it before. I think I had it before. I didn't take any medication for it, but I got pretty sick. Well, more like a cold. So maybe I didn't have it. I'm not sure, but my dad had it. And he had to take some pills for it. He had to go to the doctor. But I've drinking water out of some pretty sketchy places. If I didn't have enough water and I was dying of thirst, I was up, working and I'm just super thirsty, ran out of water. Yeah, I'd be drinking out of this. It's not that bad. But yeah, I've drinking water out of some pretty small little muddy puddles before. I've even had it where water is coming out of the ground, seeping out of the ground and dripping off of this ledge, off of the moss, dripping off the moss. Middle of summer, just day like today, middle of summer, stinking hot, didn't have enough water. So I put my water bottle right underneath that dripping water, and it took half an hour, and I had to get one swig of water off of that moss. Yeah. But, yeah, I'm gonna file up. and then go back to work. There's that puddle. One puddle there, another one over there. I don't know if you see it shining off the sunlight there, reflecting sunlight. Puddle, and there's a couple more steps of puddles down there, and it probably just keeps going up there. There's 3 other guys on this hilltop. One over there is my partner, and there's 2 farther guys way up over that way. Yeah, it's going good. Okay, here's my next tree. Good size, this one. It's got quite a bit of lean to it here. So I had to open up a hole for it, right into there. But, like all this along here, it is the edge of the leaf patch. So all that's staying, except that tree and that one, that's in. But everything past that is supposed to stay. And then, so the hill slopes down, and then there's the line there. So I want to put this tree right in the middle, right down at the bottom of this little draw here. That's the plan anyway. I did have to fall a decent size, but totally rotten at the butt cedar, and it's kind of bridged and it's going to break, unfortunately, when I drop this thing on it. But oh well, it's not that great a quality, but it's just nothing I could do about it. Yeah, and that one there is leaning up the hill, so I have to open up a hole for that one like tomorrow or something like that. So yeah, and there's another big one over there, way over there. Get to that one maybe tomorrow too. So first thing in the morning tomorrow, I'm going to jump over there while it's still cool in the morning. There's a strip of wood along there I have to get. And then I'll probably jump over here and have a little bit of tree shade. I'll get this pocket here done, it won't take long. And then after that, I'll spend the rest of the day opening up a hole along the edge of that leaf patch. And then go from there, yeah. But for now, let's get this one. I've already prepped it a bit, I could brush out around it. And you can see, it's got a bit of a lean that way, so we'll have to wedge it at least, so that's nice. That was a loud crash. Yeah, I can feel a slight breeze now. So refreshing, especially in the shade. Okay, so I'm gonna cut some of the flare out so my handlebars don't hit the flare, which allows me to keep dogging in. Okay, so the undercut is a bit small, so it didn't take long for me to cut that. I think because of the lean, I can get away with making a bit of a smaller undercut. And my cut's lined up perfectly too. Let's switch you guys over here. Oh, she's lifting. You see that? Thought it was gonna go. Perfect. Perfect aim. Right on. It was almost too small, eh? I cut out the middle from the front. Still had most of the woods on that side, which is I was correct the first time around. I tried to cut more on the low side. Should have put more effort into it, but it still went over just fine. Nice looking one though. Nice looking stump. Okay, see what we got. Let's go from the widest point first, because that's the most impressive. Okay. You got 6 feet. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Decent size for here anyway. Take a couple logs off of that one. All right, well, probably it for today, because I got a whole bunch of little stuff. What am I going to do for the rest of the day? After I buck that one, what should I do? I think I'll just get this here. I'll just finish this off. And then I'll have, I might even get it done by the end of the day, but if not, I only have a little bit left for tomorrow. And then, yeah, it's going pretty good. So thanks for watching. Remember to check out woodboss.ca for the power wedges. Right here, power wedges. You got better lifting power because they're a thinner taper. And they're 12.5 inches long too. Woodboss.ca is the only place you can get them. Designed them myself. And spinpan.com. Today actually, so you guys won't see the video, I don't know, maybe a week or so. I don't know, maybe in a couple days. But I'm going to film another part of my spin pan video. So check out spinpan.com. Yeah, I'm going to film another part of it because I got a new prototype finished. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's for catching gold. I designed that myself, invented it myself, and it works great. I've got a couple videos on it already, so just go on my channel or just go on YouTube and just search spin pan, then it'll show up. Spinpan.com. So, or you could go to spinpan.com and all the videos are on there. So. And if you want to buy one, if you see the video and you like it and you want to buy one, put your name on my email list. So you have to go to spinpan.com, scroll down, and then you'll see a spot to put your email, and then you'll get notified when it goes on sale, like the pre-sale, and before I make it public. So make sure you guys, because I only have a limited amount because I'm paying for it all myself out of my own pocket. So I only have a limited amount. So if you want to make sure you get one, get your name on the email list. Yeah, and then trigview.com is my loggers forum. So yeah, trigview.com. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next video. Oh, where are you? Jeez. He's way over there now. Oh. Okay, gone. The blue jay. Must be a nest nearby. Well, when there is no chainsaw or helicopter in there, it's quiet. Very, very quiet. Not a sound. You can even hear the echo of that chainsaw. I'm just in the shade. Just happen to be sitting on a log. Nice little seat here in the shade, waiting for my turn. Should be coming around the mountain here any minute now. He just picked up first flight and we're second. Let me zoom in. Lots of old growth left yet. Tons of it. This is one little area that we're looking at. Yeah, just one little area. Forgot to paint that up there. I forgot my paint this morning, so I do it in the morning. Yeah. That guy who's still cutting, he's the last guy to get picked up. So he's got some more cutting time to do because he started later in the morning because he was the last one to get dropped off in the morning. My partner, he's at the other pad way over there. I'll show you. Where is it now? He's probably sitting in the shade underneath the pad. Or he's hiding out. Oh, is that him there? No. He's over there somewhere though. Oh, there he is. Empty jugs.